First thing I've got to do real quick is tie this cable. So stand by while I do that. I'll be walking around and it decides it wants to unplug itself. And then OBS freaks out because there's no camera available, and then you can't get started again, and then yip and stuff. Alright, so kind of what I wanted to do was I just wanted to take the camera out to the Civic and just show some things. It's nothing special, nothing interesting. I'm not going to be doing anything super exciting today. But I figured it's been a while since I streamed, and before that it was a longer while since I streamed, and then aside from that it was an even longer while since I streamed, so I've got to kind of get back to doing it, because to be honest, I kind of miss doing daily streams, even if there's not a whole bunch of people here, a whole bunch of people in chat. I kind of liked doing the daily stream. So for right now, I'm going to set you guys right there. You can stand by. Thank you. I've got to detangle again. Constantly with this stupid audio. This is easily one of the worst cables I've ever used for anything. Blech. This cable's so bad. It's so stiff and hard to deal with. And it just tangles for no reason whatsoever. Case in point. Stand by, I have to disconnect it. I'm going to mute you guys so you don't get sound blasted. Stand by again. I have to disconnect the Logitech. Damn cables. getting very, very tired of cables. Doing what I do. Yes, you are untangling. Right this second you are. Yes. Just thinking last night, actually, about how it would be very handy if I had wireless equipment, such that I could have some wired cameras, high fidelity, high quality, high bit rate cameras, and equipment hooked up to the streaming laptop. Ta-da! And fixed in the garage, in the house by the printer, in the room for the game streams or game recordings or whatever, for like face cam and stuff. And then 1 or 2 wireless units that had a big redundant battery pack. I don't care about the weight so much as I care about the portability. So if I had something laptop sized, right, that had, say, 4... Stand by. Where'd you go? Where'd you go with the... Hello? Where'd you go? Well... Oh, there you are. Granted, I could build the battery pack myself. I don't necessarily need to buy pre-built units like this, but had 4 battery packs like you see on quadcopters or whatever, or the RC guys. All wired just in parallel, so that when the battery starts to get low, you have 2 spares that are always charging or charged, and you pull them. You pull 2 at a time. You put 2 in. Now you have good battery level. Nothing shuts off. You start charging the other 2. When those 2 are charged, you swap out the other 2 that were dead before along, and you just keep doing that and rotating them. And that would allow me to do things like going out into the driveway, going out into the street, going out into the backyard, going to the kitchen, going anywhere else that's not right here in the garage by the entrance to the house. I could do all of that without having to worry about cables. Its cables are moderately infuriating. Again, cables are moderately infuriating. If you could not be tangled just to all high heaven, that would be lovely. Thank you. Okay, now back to the thing we were going to do initially. I'm going to come out here and I'm just going to film. Well, no, I'm not. I need to hit the record button before I do that. Whole reason I came out here. Boop. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to film some of the things on the Civic. I do need to jack it up, actually. Sorry if I blinded you guys with the sun. Not paying attention to my muzzle awareness. But I want to film some of the things that I keep talking about, but I don't really have clear footage of for some videos. So, case in point, things like these welds that I did, where you can tell clearly I was impatient and I didn't wait for the material to cool, or I didn't cool the material fully myself before adding more material. And then you can see here, I started to grind on it to make it flat, and then I just, like, all of this right here, there's no way you're getting in underneath this to clean this up, really, without cutting the whole hood apart, and I really don't want to do that. I have a whole other hood. The next version of this is going to be a little bit bigger. It's going to come out fully to the edges, and I'm going to plug weld it all the way around every 4 or 6 inches or so, So this whole thing will be just completely different. It'll be a little bit taller, and it'll have a lip that rises up off of this edge to take the air up and over the roof. Cable? Can I get... Thank you. Cable? Cable, cable. Wanted to get an image of the wheel and the brake. How tiny the brake is inside those 17-inch wheels. My roommate's home with some shaved ice. Huzzah! Because it is hot as things that are hot. Need more cable. Don't have enough cable. One loop, two loop. One loop. Audio cable. You annoy me so much. Okay. Let's see if that's enough. I also need to 3D print a little rig for the camera and the microphone to go together as a single unit. Which I just had an idea for, actually. Nice. Nice, nice. Blinding you guys with the sun. You know, blinded by the light and all that. There we go. No. Thank you. I'm doing recording and live stream things for just footage I need for the Civic. But, yay, shaved ice. Like, you were gone for a while. I kind of want to make out for the camera that I can set it on the dash, and then I want to make one that I can set it down here. Yeah, because I want to do a video of driving this car, just driving a stick with the tune. She's too far away. So, I can't see chat right now. It's in the garage. I am in the car. So let me eat some shaved ice.
You want to do a video of driving?
With the tune and the fancy clutch and all the stuff.
Okay.
Because there's like, you know, there's videos teaching you how to drive a stick, how to do pedal stuff, but none of it is really, like, it's all just teaching how to drive to teenagers, to people that don't drive stick. Learning from nothing. I want to make one that's like, if you want to do it, I need like accelerometers though, because I want to do it and show jerkiness.
Oh, the difference?
So I want to show people, you know, you can drive, here's how you drive good, here's how you drive bad, etc., etc.
Okay.
But not today.
I'm gonna go inside for a little bit because my goal now is to
Cool off.
Yeah. Well, and I'm gonna clean up the bedroom a little bit, vacuum everything, and then Mika's gonna have to be outside for a little bit because I gotta spray the whole house. We're getting spiders.
She's already outside.
Oh, my puppy.
One thing I wanted to get on camera. Yeah, she was just over there. She probably heard you and then went over to the door.
So I can relax and let her be inside for a little bit. It'll probably take me about 30 minutes to do the whole house. It doesn't smell or anything, but I'd rather make sure it's dry before I let her back inside.
I don't want her licking up bug killer.
Yep. Thanks.
I don't think she would, but just in case.
Yeah. I don't think she would either. She'd be like, ew. I was like, my lotion, I had peppermint lotion, and I put it on, and she smelled it, and she's like, it's so funny. Thing is, though, it's odorless, so I don't even know if she would pay attention. She might actually lick it just because she can't smell it.
I mean, odorless to humans is probably not necessarily odorless to dog.
That's true. And in all honesty, I think
I could probably smell it.
oh, dude, you guys see this? I almost got this wrapping paper for Tate. It's funny. I thought about it so bad, but he would get so bad. Rainbows. Oh, that one's so funny. And then I almost got him this one. Like, seriously, almost got him this one. The Spider-Man one. I thought it would have been cute.
Kind of like that.
Yes, he would. That's why I was like, I'll give that to Tate. But I just got this 3-pack.
It's July. What do you need?
It's June. Father's Day
Oh.
is this weekend.
I wouldn't know. I talked to my dad in like 5 years.
Yeah.
He likes to do this thing where you're just like, you're talking to him, it's fine, and you talk to him one day, and you talk to him another day, and then you're like, wait a minute, I haven't talked to this guy in like 5 or 6 years. The fuck did he go? And he just disappeared. My dad likes to just like not communicate with people. I wonder if this guy should be in the sun.
Sounds like someone right now. But you do, but don't. It just depends.
If someone's not right there in front of me right now, I don't think to like call them up, be like, hey, what are you guys doing?
I'm the same way. I'll send you memes and videos and shit, but that's usually about as far as it goes. I'm gonna go inside. It's fucking hot.
Yep. Okay, back to the thing. So eventually, and again, for anybody that's come in fresh in the last 10-15 minutes while I've been chatting,
I thought you were talking to me again.
I don't have access to chat currently. It's way over there. Sorry. But back to the thing. Those of you familiar with myself and with the channel will have seen the inside of the project car already. One of the, I think, probably better shots or better sequences was the one where I was doing all this insulation, which experiment successful. I need to make some modifications to the process because clearly HVAC tape in an automobile is never going to work. It's not a good solution. You need to have permanent adhesives for this kind of environment. High vibration, high dust, dirt, debris, detritus, what have you. Lots of wear from feet on the bits where your feet go in the floorboards. Lots of vibration in the door and the floorboards and the headliner. So I'll need to come up with a better solution. But the tape, like here, you can see it's not even attached to the body. It served its purpose. It held the insulation in place for the duration of the experiment, which was, last summer. But some things that I need to do still, I need to change the parking brake technology. Hondas, most things, use cables for their parking brakes. You pull it, cable pulls on a mechanism on each of the calipers. Well, these days they're electric motors on the rear brakes, which don't even get me started on all of that. I should make a video about that in federal law. Yeah, we should do that. That's something we should do. Anyway, I don't like the cables, and Hondas specifically, because the cables are too thin and they stretch. And I could go get thicker cables, sure, but the rear brake pads are small anyway, and it's not a separate braking system that you can use in an emergency, is it? It's you rip on it while you're moving and nothing really happens. It doesn't slow you down that much. I can slow down faster using the transmission shifting down. So, what I'm going to do is redesign the rear knuckles, the spindles, to have brackets for 2 calipers in 2 different positions. One will be for the foot brakes, the normal 4 wheels of brakes. The other will be for the parking brake, and I'll just have a hydraulic system that runs back to the back. Easy peasy. So 2 hydraulic systems on the rear, which would give me better emergency capabilities. I'd be able to stop the vehicle if my primary braking system fails without having to ram into a wall or traffic or people or whatever. A moose, maybe it's a moose. I don't know. But it would also provide me with extra braking power. So you have an emergency, you hit your foot pedal, and you're not slowing down fast enough, you could then rip the emergency brake and gain a little bit more stopping power, assuming you don't break the wheels loose from traction with the road surface. That's a whole other concern. I run with soft tires. I won't own a tire on this car in particular that has a tread wear rating above 320 because the tires are too hard, the compounds are too hard, and they're not good for cornering or emergency situations. They're unsafe. I don't know how people get away with selling them or buying them, honestly. Your tires should absolutely be able to grip more than your brakes can grab, honestly. But that's neither here nor there. We're getting into engineering and the fallacy of believing in OEMs as the end-all be-all, and that's a whole other conversation we can have. We're not doing that today. I'm here showing a little bit of footage of stuff and things. So, something that I wanted to take some footage of is turning the key on. I don't know if with the glare the camera will catch it. I'll look at it later in editing. I might end up redoing this clip at night when it's easier to see. But the O2 sensors heat up, and without the engine running, I haven't started the engine, it takes them longer because they're running on internal heaters alone. If I started the engine, they would have started up much faster and started giving me a reading. There we go, 1.6234, and climbing, and it's going to continue to climb until it reaches fully, because they're still warming up. They're not fully warm. You can't trust the reading right now, which is why tuning cold starts and cold power and all of that is an art in itself, because you can't trust your O2 sensors, your gauges, when the exhaust is cold. It takes quite some time for those sensors to warm up fully. My shaved ice is melting. It's kiwi, strawberry, watermelon. And really it's just cold sugar water. But it's delicious cold sugar water. So, something else I need to do is I need to replace this box. Because I love having a container here, a large container, right here where the front passenger seat used to reside. But I want something permanent. I want something that doesn't move around whenever I take a corner, hit the brakes, hit the gas, whatever. I also want something with a hinged lid, 2 hinged lids, probably a small one and a big one. So a small one here, and then the big one is just that the whole thing lifts up or just slides off or whatever. And I want it, mounted to the floor. The mounted to the floor part's really easy. The building it is pretty easy. Coming up with the lids that aren't going to be annoying, something that I can live with and love, that's going to be the thing, right? Something else I wanted to show. What was it? There was something else. Oh, so let's do a start sequence real quick, and we can see what tuning can do for starting. Pardon me, lens is dirty. Here we are. Much better. Alright, so, oh yeah, I was going to show you the shifter too. So this is absolutely 100% not the stock shifter, as anyone familiar with these cars or manual transmissions in OEM cars might be able to discern. This is not the stock shifter at all. The linkage up to the transmission and the transmission attachments, that's all stock. The frame that holds the thing underneath the body is stock, which is buried under a heat shield right now. Otherwise, I'd show it to you right now. But the arm is shorter, and it's one of those aftermarket guys that came with bearings. I've upgraded it because it was a cheap eBay knockoff kind of deal, so I had to affect some repairs, put some better bearings in it, put some seals in it because it didn't have seals on the bearings that were in there when I got it. For whatever reason, when I got it, it was super crunchy and loose. So, it is now a very short shifter. And it's even shorter because this is actually shorter than it was sold initially. Because to put a handle on it, you either had to use the knob that came with that shifter, or you had to custom make something. The stuff on the shelf at like Joe Riley's, Vato Zone, wherever, none of that stuff would work. It was too small, even without any of the little adapters in it. It'd only go on a tiny little bit, and obviously that's not safe. So what I ended up doing was I took a Dremel and not very carefully made the top of the shaft a little bit thinner. Suffice it to say, that was fine for a couple of years until it snapped. Because I made it a land, I didn't taper it. This, I tapered. So it's been this way for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, for a long, long time, and hasn't caused me any issues yet. I am going to be redesigning the shifter in the future. I'm moving to cable shift. I've got an MR2 shift assembly, I suppose. Phone is it in direct sunlight, so pardon me. I've got an MR2 shift assembly. It's a little box of 4 bolts that the shifter is sort of mounted in, and the MR2s used cables because the engine is behind the driver, and the cables just ran back under the center console through the firewall to the transmission. I still have to design. I need to CAD the engine bay and the transmission, the steering rack, the subframe, that whole region. I need to make that in CAD so that I can design the brackets for the shift linkage for the cables. Because the way cables actuate are a little bit different than the way linkages actuate, right? So I need to make it a little adapter system for that. Which I will be doing at some point. But other stuff takes precedent, so that's what we've done. So, here we go with cold start on a hot day. So it's moderately warm start, but the engine has not run in the last 2 days. I haven't driven anywhere in this thing in a few days. So, this will be fresh start on a cold engine. So, turn the key on, let the fuel pump prime. I've modified the prime in the tuning software. I've doubled the length of it. Not that I necessarily needed to, but I felt like it was something that was not a terrible thing to do. So, generally I don't wait this long. I don't turn the key on and wait. It's turn key on, hit clutch, turn key, start. That's what I do. So, that's your cold start. Simple as that. Starts like a Chevy, honestly. Since I've owned this car, before I started tuning it, probably put the mic closer to my face now that the engine's running. Since I've owned this car, before I started tuning it, it's always been, even on a hot day, you know, you'd hear multiple compression cycles before you'd get fire and engine start. Every Chevy I've ever known, up to whatever 2015, 16, somewhere in there. I don't know about the newest ones because I don't work on those. I work on old stuff, obviously. So all of the older ones, starting with second generation throttle body injection, they always did that fast start on a cold day, real fast. And I've spent a lot of time tuning that in this car because I like quick start. I don't want to sit there and my Accord does that. 100% stock 2000 Accord on a cold day, anything less than 60 degrees, and it's and it starts. And every Honda I have ever known does that same thing. It takes 5 or 10, 5 to 10, I guess, compression cycles before the engine is running. And I don't really like that. So now that that's done, if I have the cable length, we're going to go around back real quick. Sunglasses. I also should show you guys my eyeball alignment, which I did in stream, but from a distance because I was in kind of a hurry. So what I should do is show you the full process of my eyeball alignment, which requires driving a little bit. Cables, don't trip me, please. Take that, put it over there. Okay, let's see if we have cable length, shall we? We do not have cable length. Okay. I was going to take a look at the trunk, show you guys a thing on the trunk, but I'll do that later. It's really freaking hot out here. I can't... The years have long since gone when the day was that I could just walk outside at 90, 95 degree, 80 degree, even 80 degree temperatures and be fine. Just stand out there, sit out there, no problems. I cannot do it anymore. It is not an ability I possess. Bug thing, please go away. So, and I still haven't found, damn it. And I still haven't found a suitable material to use as a seal for the HVAC on the Volkswagen. So I'm still searching for that. I think I know the material that I want to use, but I don't quite know where to get it from for a reasonable price. And I still have to design the cutting guide for cutting the right shape so I can make the seal actually seal. But I think that's it for this little clip and this little stream. I just wanted to get some footage of some of that stuff inside. What I would like to do in the future, not today because it's hot, I might do it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm not doing much of anything, so I might get up in the morning tomorrow. I've been waking up around 0300 and just kind of like laying there wondering what the heck it is I'm going to be doing for the day. But maybe tomorrow when it's nice and cool and it's kind of dark, I'll get some supplementary footage of the gauges. And then do a little bit of screen recording on the Lenovo with the tune, showing cold engine starts. I think we'll do that. I think I also need to I'm gonna go inside. I don't suppose you guys would want to come with me and look at the schematic for the ECU for 20 minutes. It's probably not the most entertaining thing we could do. But I'm going to go inside, take a look at the schematic for the Honda ECU that I'm still using because I'm poor. And I'm going to find out if there's well, I'm going to figure out what the size of the capacitor is that's on the map line. Because I suspect that that capacitor has failed in my ECU because I see a lot of noise. I think it should be as close to a DC signal as we possibly can get. And granted, it's only maybe 40, 50 millivolts. But that's still noise. It's going to change the fuel and the timing and everything. And if you can get that signal as absolutely clean as you can possibly get it, then you can make the engine run more efficiently and effectively because you don't have to overcompensate for noise. I also need to rebuild the wire harness and redesign it to try to move all of that stuff as far away from the ignition as possible, which what I'm thinking is all of the sensors move down and back away from the ignition system and through the firewall in the middle, keeping the ignition wires to the ECU on the outside of the body until everything meets at the ECU. That would probably prevent a bunch of crosstalk, which is probably what I'm getting. So, for now, 30 minutes. Told you it wasn't going to be a very long stream. I just wanted to take a couple little snippets of footage. For that, we can stop recording now. I don't need to continue recording. I just wanted to take a couple of snippets of footage because I've had some ideas for some videos that I'd like to record, and I would like to start getting those clips sorted and ready to go. So, that's it for me for right now. I might do something here in a little bit. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. I may not. Don't count on it. But perhaps keep a weathered eye on the horizon. And we'll probably see you in the next one. Whatever it is that you're doing today, tonight, tomorrow. I hope you have a good one, a good night, a good day, a good eat, a good sleep. A good shaved ice, if that is what you so desire. And we will see you guys all